crazy. Not only did OKC get a future MVP in Shea, they got 5 first-round picks, which led to, what, a ton of depth. And we're seeing it every game they play. It's an outstanding team right now.
And I got a chance to see up close and personal tonight. I was sitting with a friend, Joe and Sharon, on the floor behind the bench. And I mean, behind the basket, like right there, I was watching all these guys. And so when you watch them, they really remind me of a well-oiled team. You know, that every position, the spacing, the size that they possess, the strength. McCain he is strong. Dort is strong. They're physical. And I was, 10 feet from him watching Shea and how he just gets to the bucket and gets into the body, and how they always know where the next pass is supposed to go. They know where it's supposed to go. It's like automatic. So they are a machine, and that's what you aspire to be when you get a group of guys together, and they've been together for a little while, and they've won, and these guys are hungry. Getting 1 championship, that's just, that's not the standard anymore. You at least got to get back-to-back, and, with the three-peat, and these guys they're set to do it if they can stay focused, and nobody can knock them off.
Yeah, I was kind of laughing, James. They got off to this incredible 24-1 start. Allie and I were talking about it on the pregame show, and then they struggled for a little bit. They kind of, had some not quite midseason blahs, but
they had a lot of injuries.
They had some injuries as well.
Yep.
Jalen Williams left the team as far as being healthy for a second time, and you know what, James? Everyone's like, oh, OKC championship hangover. Oh yeah, they're not going to be back this year. The Spurs are rising. No, OKC is still a very good team, despite their early season, mid-season, whatever you want to call it. I think they went 10-8 over some span. Just generalizing those numbers, but I honestly thought, we were talking back in December, they're going to break Golden State's wins record. Obviously, that didn't happen, but they're still going to finish in like the mid-60s as far as wins. That's a pretty good season, isn't it?
I do want to follow up on this just for one point. I don't want this to become a Thunder post-game show, but having said all of that, you look at them in the Western Conference. They are the defending champs. You talk about the 24-1 start. I think you look at a night like tonight, they still had something to play for, given where San Antonio is, right behind them in the standings with these few games down the stretch. But you got 3 guys plus 30 or more. You've got Shea going for 25-8, extending that streak of 20+, just the consistency there with him. Big Game, you mentioned in a day and age where you don't see a lot of back-to-backs, but a team, you used the word hungry. That's what this team said after they won their first championship, was that they weren't satisfied. Could you see them and just the focus that they now have dialed back in as guys are healthy for them, running it back?
You could see it and you could feel it, and whoever substituted in, they just plugged it in and kept going. Offensively, they are just, almost unstoppable when this guy has the ball and they're spacing. But they're almost a better defensive team. They are physical. They're tough. They communicate. They clog up the paint. Harstein, he's a tough, physical guy, and then they have shot blockers with Holmgren, and they just get after you on the perimeter. They deny. If you throw soft passes, they're going to get steals. So they're locked in on defense, and they're locked in on offense, and they're locked in mentally. Like I know what that looks like when you have championship, dreams and aspirations in your head. You've tasted it, and they have, and they're on a mission. San Antonio's, they haven't experienced what Oklahoma has. I mean they have in the past, but this new San Antonio team. But Oklahoma, man, they know what it tastes like, and you can feel it. Yep, you can feel it.
And then, Allie, they're the Lakers. And as James mentioned, they played really hard tonight, but you could just sense the slippage once about, midway through the second quarter. And, the defense started to kind of go astray a little bit. And the Lakers had trouble making free throws in that first half, 7 for 16. And as such, they're now a half game behind the Nuggets, 3 games left. The problem here is that the Nuggets play Memphis next. They are probably going to win that game, and such is life, But now the Lakers, James, they have to make sure they fend off the Rockets. You've got to make sure You try to knock down that 4 seed if you can. It's almost a certainty. That is probably almost likely who they're going to play. Good news, the Lakers just went in there a couple weeks ago, and they beat the Rockets twice in 3 nights in the city of Houston. But you got to try to hang on to that home court advantage in that 4-5 situation. Don't make the month of March go to waste, James, because that was an incredible run for them. That's the goal right now. Try to finish 4th.
Yeah, I think with LeBron in the lineup and what I saw tonight, I mean, I think guys realize that they have to play well. And so the sense of urgency is there. And I think with a little bit of leadership from LeBron, I think Jake LaRavia plays hard. You know, hopefully Marcus Smart might be able to come back. We really need Ayton and Hayes to perform. I think Rui is ready for the task, where I saw him early in the first half. So, yeah, I think they're capable, but it's going to take some serious concentration and determination, and they can't turn the ball. I mean, all the things that we talk about. Can't turn it over. Got to have good shots. Can't give up offensive rebounds. And we'll see. We'll see how it unfolds.
I think you look at a night like tonight, too, and when you talk about guys just taking advantage of opportunities, Luke Kennard coming off that triple-double versus the Mavericks the other night, and just being able to see him play make a little bit. He finished with 10 but 9 dimes, just like the other night. He had 11, right? 16 rebounds. I think these are just opportunities, to your point, until LeBron returns, until Marcus Smart gets back and healthy. You want to win 2 of the next 3, right?
Yeah.
That puts you in a good position.
Yeah,
you feel here down the stretch. You got a back-to-back coming up Thursday, Friday with Warriors-Phoenix before you close it out with the Jazz. But plays and opportunities that Luke Kennard was able to take advantage of is a positive.
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you what, the 16 rebounds he had last game against Dallas, no guard in the entire NBA has had more rebounds than that in any game. He's tied for first for the most rebounds. It's like, Luke Kennard, and this always happens. You know, I don't care who you are. You know, when a player gets acquired by the Lakers, there's always something you're like, oh, I didn't know he could do that. That's impressive. And for Luke, it's definitely the playmaking ability. 16 rebounds, probably a bit of an aberration. But then again, this is the guy, James, who broke all of LeBron's AAU records in the great state of Ohio. Allie definitely thinks it's great. And so he has some talent. This is not a guy who just fell out of a tree and just, you know, is going to be in the NBA. He's a good player, no doubt about it.
All I can say is, Luke, you owe us, big boy. You know, you came in here shooting a high percentage in 3, low volume shooting. We wanted more shots. You're giving us more shots. Now you're showing us that you got some ball handling skills. You can drop dimes. I love it.
Yeah,
he's a smart player. He's always been, you know, clever, and he's always been versatile. And tonight he showed it. But we're going to want to see more of it now. You know, I know when the guys come back, or, you know, we're not going to have Luka, we're not going to have, you know, Austin Reeves. So what he showed us tonight, we're going to need more of that with LeBron and, you know, with Austin, not Austin, but with Ayton and the rest of the crew. Because he can throw alley-oops.
You're getting greedy, aren't you? You want more Kennard.
Yes. I don't mind his, you know, 3-point percentage going down a little bit. If he's dropping, you know, a few more threes, but his ball handling skills, his ability to be, you know, ambidextrous with both hands. He throws the lob. So I think he can adapt, you know, until we get the crew back.
At this point, Bruce, I don't think we just want to. I think we need it. I think we need it from Luke Kennard. Time to hear from Coach J.J. Redick, brought to you by your Toyota dealers.